There's a moment you've probably experienced. Late at night, the house finally quiet, you shift slightly under the blanket, and your golden retriever moves closer. Not randomly, not by accident. Closer. A paw resting on you, a warm body pressed against your side. Sometimes even a sigh, like they finally found exactly where they're supposed to be. Most people smile and think, they're just being cute. But here's the truth. Your dog isn't just sleeping next to you. They're communicating. And once you understand what they're saying, you'll never look at that moment the same way again.
Think about your golden retriever for a second. Not just as a pet, but as a being shaped by thousands of years of instinct. Before the cozy bed, before the soft blankets, there were packs. Sleeping wasn't just rest, it was survival. Position mattered. Distance mattered. Who you slept next to mattered. And that instinct never disappeared. So when your dog chooses to sleep pressed against you, they're not just seeking comfort. They're placing you inside their pack structure. Not outside of it. Not somewhere in the background. Right next to them. That position, the one where they can feel your breathing, your movement, your presence, that's reserved for trust. Deep trust. The kind of trust that says, if I fall asleep here, I'm safe.
Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Golden retrievers, more than most breeds, are wired for emotional connection. They don't just live with you, they read you. Your tone, your mood, even your energy when you walk into a room. So when they come to sleep next to you, especially after a long day, it's not random timing. It's response. They're syncing with you. If you've been stressed, they feel it. If you've been calm, they absorb it. And when the day ends, they move closer. Not just for warmth, but for emotional alignment. It's their way of saying, I'm here. You're not alone in this. And here's the part most people miss. Your presence regulates them. Just like theirs can calm you, your breathing, your stillness, your proximity, it lowers their guard. It tells their nervous system, everything is okay now. But there's another layer to this behavior, and it's more instinctive. Protection. Even when your golden retriever looks completely relaxed, sleeping deeply, barely moving, part of their brain is still alert. Not in a stressful way, but in a watchful, quiet awareness. When they sleep next to you, especially facing outward or positioning between you and the door, they're not just resting, they're monitoring. Not because they think danger is around every corner, but because their instinct says, this is my person. And that comes with responsibility. You might never notice it consciously, but they're tuned into sounds, subtle shifts, unfamiliar movement. And if something changes, they're the first to know. That's not training. That's instinct. Now let's talk about something more subtle, but just as powerful. Comfort. Golden retrievers are known for their calm, affectionate nature, but they also experience anxiety more than people realize. Not always in obvious ways. Sometimes it's quiet, internal, a need for reassurance rather than attention. And sleep is when that need becomes most visible. When your dog curls into you, leans into your body, or adjusts themselves just to maintain contact, that physical connection isn't random. It's grounding. Your body heat, your scent, your steady breathing, all of it creates a sense of stability for them. In a world that can sometimes feel unpredictable, you are their constant. And being close to you, especially during the most vulnerable state, sleep, is how they reinforce that feeling of safety.
So the next time your golden retriever shifts closer in the night, or insists on staying right next to you, no matter how much space is available, don't brush it off as just a habit. Don't assume it's only about comfort. Because in that quiet moment, without noise, without distraction, they're expressing something much deeper. Trust, connection, instinct, protection, and maybe most importantly, belonging. To them, you're not just the person who feeds them or takes them on walks. You are their safe place, their pack, their anchor. So when they choose to sleep beside you, they're not just finding a place to rest. They're choosing you every single night.